is how much do when we ask one question. Just lie to your doctor. Now, I'm not saying that you should do that, but a lot of people actually do. And that's especially true when we ask one question. And that question is, how much do you drink? So there's this unofficial rule of thumb among doctors to sort of double whatever the patient says that they drink. And this happens for a variety of reasons. Lots of people underreport their own alcohol consumption to their doctors and even to their own selves sometimes. Hey, I'm Dr. Josh, and today's day 21 of 50 ways to love your liver. And today we're talking about alcohol and your liver. So your liver is your primary detox organ. It's responsible for breaking down the alcohol, ethanol, into acetaldehyde, which is a toxic reactive compound. It then converts that into acetate, which can then be eliminated or can be further metabolized. But here's the catch. Your liver can only process about 1 drink per hour, give or take, in a healthy liver. And that's why if you drink at that pace, you're unlikely to feel too much. So if you're drinking faster than that, or if you're piling on drinks day after day, your system, especially your liver, can't keep up with that. And that's when the trouble begins. And that trouble looks like fat, which begins to accumulate in the liver cells. That's called alcoholic fatty liver disease. Liver enzymes like AST and ALT, especially GGT, they rise. Inflammation builds inside the liver, and then over time, this leads to fibrosis or scarring or cirrhosis, or even worse. Now, lots of people ask this question, which is worse, a drink every day or 7 drinks on the weekend? They're both 7 per week, right? Well, both of those have risks, but binge drinking is generally considered harder on the liver. And there have been studies that show that larger, infrequent doses of alcohol lead to higher spikes in that acetaldehyde, more oxidative stress, more inflammation. But listen, daily low dose drinking is not off the hook either. It's also linked to sustained low grade inflammation, especially in people who have otherwise poor diets and other metabolic type of risk factors. So the bottom line here, and you've probably heard this before, is that no amount of alcohol is good for your liver. And that's despite what you might see about headlines about red wine and other types of alcohol. And listen, there's no shame here, but if alcohol is a part of your life, give your liver some love in return. So my list of top nutrients and herbs for liver health in people who drink: B vitamins, especially B1, B6, and B12, NAC, which we've talked about here a lot, the amino acid taurine, and then a few herbs: milk thistle seed, dandelion root, schizandra berry, and curcumin from turmeric. If you have any specific questions about any of those, hit me up in the comments. I hope that helps. Cheers. And it starts right here in your, So you don't have, weird question for you. What's the most important organ in your body? Now, if you ask a cardiologist, they are going to say the heart. A neurologist, they're going to say it's the brain, and a nephrologist, they'll say the kidneys, and none of them are wrong, right? But I have a strong case to make today that it's your liver. Hey, I'm Dr. Josh. I am a naturopathic doctor. I've got 24 years of experience, and this right now is day 14 of 50 ways to love your liver. Now listen, I am a little biased here, but hear me out. Your liver does hundreds of different jobs. It's like a biochemical command center in there, and it processes everything that you eat, that you drink, that you breathe, that you absorb through your skin. It regulates your blood sugar, it builds proteins, it stores vitamins, it detoxifies hormones for you, filters your blood, breaks down meds, produces bile to help you digest fat. And in today's world that's just full of processed food and alcohol and environmental toxins, medications, and stress, your liver is working harder than it ever has in any generation that came before us. And you can survive without a gallbladder or a spleen. You can survive without a kidney. But if your liver fails, game over. And that's why taking care of your liver is so essential. So yes, the heart is vital. The brain is a miracle. But the liver, absolutely the unsung hero of your health. So support it, protect it, love it every day, and I'll see you next time to talk about how to love it on day 15.